Update 49 made it so that the Ice Monkey can now be placed directly on water, and today I'm gonna try it out by playing a game of water only free play on balanced. You still need at least a tier 3 to freeze the surrounding water to place other towers, but in water only challenges you'll no longer need to save up for a carrier to put your first Ice Monkey on and then proceed to get 2 more of them on the water and then selling your carrier. This will save you both money in the early game and space in late game. In this particular challenge I have very little space, so I can't fit a farm or a heli, but even if I could, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to start the game by getting an Ice Monkey to tier 3 and then going for farms. Honestly, boat farming is still a good start in water only challenges, because getting the ice to tier 3 right away in the early game costs you over 3k even in easy mode, and you might want to get snowballing faster by just going directly for boats instead of farms. And most water only challenges doesn't have that much space, so you're not gonna fit too many farms anyway, so I think for water only challenges the start may remain the same, but as soon as you transition from boat farming to something else, you will reap the benefits of the new Ice Monkey. In this game I began by getting 4 favorite trade boats, and then on round 37 I sold 2 of them and got an Ice Monkey to freeze the water and a balloon trap with a rubber to gold. I'm gonna keep the boats for a few rounds until I have enough cash to sell them and then afford the XL trap for 3x cash instead of 2x. The rubber to gold is currently struggling a bit with its range, but soon we're gonna get a village, and later I also have another trick I wanna try to help it out even further. For now, we don't really have a lot of options for farming. The space is so limited that trap farming is pretty much the only alternative for now. This game I also wanted to try out the new Desperado tower, so I get the tier 4 bounty hunter next to the village. Now I'm gonna be using the ability that gives extra cash from marked targets every now and then, trying to use it mostly when I have several BFBs or larger that's about to enter the trap. The other ability I will now use on the rubber to gold to increase its range further so it can gold more balloons. Now, Desperado will also steal some pops from the trap. I haven't done any in-depth testing, this is a pretty relaxed run, but overall I'm pretty sure I did make some extra cash because of Desperado. I continue like this until round 100, where I sell everything and then get a degree 20 boat paragon, which generates 3.2k per round, and then a 25k support temple for 5k cash per round. And then with the leftover space I get a Spirit of the Forest, a Sniper, and then an Energizer for their abilities. I also hook up some tech bots to them, that way I can go completely AFK for a while when I'm farming. The new change to the Ice Monkey I think is kind of cool, because for water only challenges it does allow for a little bit more strat variety. In these challenges you are often quite space limited, and you're still going to be, but that little extra space allows for some new ideas and some extra towers that you can squeeze in. But since boat farming is probably still a good idea, it doesn't change the challenge drastically. And you're still not gonna be able to use Geraldo for farming, because you're still not gonna be able to get his action figure down early enough for it to be useful. You really need those high percentage increases from the early rounds in order for it to give you any cash whatsoever. Anyway, once I've saved up some cash, I sell my Spirit, Sniper, and Energizer and upgrade the temple to the True Sun God with another 25k support sacrifices, so it now generates 10k per round instead of 5k. Then I get my Spirit and sub back again, and also a Grand Sabo to farm pops for the Ninja Paragon, and then I go AFK once again. Eventually, when I reach round 180, I sell the sub and Spirit and get an Ice Monkey to freeze the water and place a Super Mines to start farming pops for that Paragon too. Because of the extremely limited space, you really gotta think about what Paragons you want. Since you need 3 of a tower to create the Paragon, it doesn't take long before you don't have room for 3 towers. The boat is an obvious choice because of the hooking ability and the fact that it gives you 2 more spots to place towers. The Ninja because of the permanent Grand Sabo, and the Spike Factory just for its insane raw damage. After finishing round 202, we now have 16.2 million pops on both the Ninja and the Spike Factory, and the rounds are getting a little tough for the boat Paragon to practically solo, especially now at 200 plus when we're getting a lot of fortified bads. So now it's time to upgrade. We sell the TSG, upgrade the Ice Monkey to tier 5 for the extra range, which just barely allows us to place 2 more Spike Factories and get the Paragon to degree 69 without injecting any cash. Then I get a new Ice Monkey in a different position with a different cross path and sell the old one. Then a Carrier Flagship and then the Ninja Paragon to degree 69 as well. After that, I'm gonna get the XL Trap to farm pops for the NG Paragon and the Sniper and the Spirit for some more farming. The Carrier Flagship is a tier 5 tower, so it's gonna lose us the Paragon of Power Monkey Knowledge on the boat, but I still need to get it in order to get the NG Paragon later. Reason being is that without it I can't fit 3 engineers. Next to the ice, instead of getting the boat, I can get 1 small tower and 1 medium-sized tower, but not 2 medium-sized towers. And that sounds like a very good trade to me. Losing a little bit of DPS on the boat in exchange for a 4th Paragon, which on top of the damage it does, can now overclock other Paragons, which we will of course use on our Spike Factory Paragon. And on round 231 we got all the pops we need, and we might as well sacrifice the cash we have left, since we're not really gonna have much use for it anymore after this anyway. We get a degree 71 NG and then place our hero Isili and a sniper that we will turn into a cripple Moab. Now, since this is a pretty relaxed run, I decided to tech bot all of my abilities and just go AFK once again. But before I went AFK, I noticed that, holy hell, the Spike Paragon shoots out a lot of spikes on this map. I even went into Sandbox to get a cleaner view because I was so surprised. I'm not sure if it did this on this map before, or if it's a side effect of the recent update, which was supposed to make the Paragon shoot out more spiked mines on shorter maps, but either way, the ability is nuts on this map. Even as I approach round 300 later, using the ability just wipes the map clean of all fortified bads almost instantly. Speaking of the Spike Paragon, this tower still brings a crazy amount of lag with it. When bads fly into a pile of spikes, even if the pile isn't that big, the game lags like it's freaking logs free play. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, is it just the smaller spikes spawning out of the exploding bigger ones that does that? If so, why does a much larger amount of normal spikes from Spike Factories not cause the same lag? I don't know what it is, but anyway, I think something should be done about it if it's possible, because it is pretty extreme. And also, I think everybody was expecting a small nerf to the Spike Factory Paragon in this update, which we didn't get. And if it's the smaller spikes causing the lag, then that's the perfect place to put a nerf. Perhaps reduce the number of spikes but increase their damage, but make it an overall nerf. That way the lag would get reduced and the Paragon still stays strong, but with a slight nerf when it comes to insta-killing bosses. But if it's not the smaller spikes, but simply the large pile itself exploding over and over causing the lag, well, then I don't know, then we might just have to live with the lag if you want to use this crazy strong Paragon. This game I managed to get over round 300 before dying, even though I didn't micro any of the abilities myself. But on round 301 I paid the price for that. All of my abilities were on cooldown, and even getting a Legend of the Night temporarily was not enough to stay alive until the Spike Factory Paragon could come back and save me. But I'm still very happy that it made it to round 300. Anyway, an interesting change to the Ice Monkey for water-only challenges. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.